Now let's start with few questions from the same chapter, quadratic equation. So first, which of the following question is the following four options has been given. You have to find out which of the following is going to be a quadratic equation. So how are we going to do that? We just compare with the general format. If all the three, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Just compare with all these four options. One among this will be correct. So now over here starting only cubic equation is there, so we cannot consider that, right? So the next we have like two option, that is two equation is there, that is 3x square minus 5x plus 9 is equal to x square minus 7x plus 3. See, both the equations also are going to satisfy a quadratic equation. So this is going to be my option. But still, if we go and check for third option, again you have a cubic equation, and here also if you just solve for it, I don't think so you will be having this quadratic equation, because option B only is satisfying. Only suppose all these three equation doesn't satisfy, I'll go ahead and check for fourth option. Clear? Discriminant of the given equation, you have to find out the discriminant. So as I said you, what is going to be the discriminant? Discriminant is going to be d is equal to b square minus 4ac. From the given equation you have to see what is the value of a, b and c. From this equation my value of a is going to be equal to minus 1, b is half and c is also equal to half. Right, so now b square is going to be over here the value of b square is going to be plus 1 upon 2 the whole square minus 4, a is minus 1 and c is half again. So when I'm solving for that, I'll be getting 3 upon 4. They've just asked me to find out the discriminant. They haven't asked me if it is greater than 0, but still we can just write the real roots. It is like you're having distinct roots. It is going to be greater than 0. It is not equal to 0, it is greater than 0. 3 upon 4, if we solve for it, it is going to be less than 0. Next question. For equal root x kx into x minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 0, what is the value of k? Right. So what is the one hint given over here? They said it is going to be a equal root. So what is the prominence if it is equal to equal root? So if at all if it is equal to equal root, then we can tell that d is equal to 0, where we will be having real and equal roots. Right. So with this help of the, with this, what is that we can do? They have been given an equation. First we have to find out the discriminant. So rather than finding the discriminant, there are two ways wherein you can solve. How is it I have solved over here? First thing, I have elaborated this equation, that is kx square minus 2kx plus 6 is equal to 0. Then what is it I have done? Over here I have just assumed what is the value of k it can be. See, they have said it is equal root, so my LHS and RHS has to be equal, right? So first I have checked with number 1. So wherever the value of x is there, I have just put the value of 1, and for k I have just put the value of 6. So why is it I have done? It is just an assumption, but still if this doesn't work, you can just go ahead and just solve for d is equal to 0, that is b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. When you substitute and solve for this, even then you will be getting the value of k as 6. Right. Next question. Check if the following equation is a quadratic equation or not. First we need to elaborate. 2x square plus 3x is equal to 2x square plus 3x. Right. This is what I will get when I am just elaborating. 2x into x is 2x square plus 3x. So both of it is equal. So first and foremost I just have to get everything on one hand side. 2x square minus 2x square plus 3x minus 3x is equal to 0. So if you can just see over here, everything gets cancelled. You're just going to get 0 over here. So if it is a 0, it is not at all a quadratic equation. The basic principle, a only is equal to 0, wherein a should not be equal to 0. Right. Hence the given whatever they have been given, it is not going to form a quadratic equation. Clear? Find the two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is going to be 182. So first and foremost, whenever this type of questions is being given, it is usually going to be one linear problem, that is only x variable would be contained. So now find two numbers whose sum is being given and whose product also is being given, right? So first and foremost, we have to consider two numbers. So we know that the sum is 27. If sum is 27, the other number has to be 27 minus something. So that number I have considered it as x. So the two numbers are going to be x and 27 minus x. So they have given another hint. So using sum is what I have found out, this x and 27 minus x. So the product they have said is going to be 182. So the product between these two numbers is 182. When I'm just expanding this equation, I'll be getting 27 minus x square is equal to 182. So when I bring that to the general format, I get an equation. So using this, I can either use factorization method or formula method also. So minus 182 is what I have over here. So minus 182 has to be split in such a manner I have to get minus 27, right? So the factors you have to consider, do prime factorization method. So if at all if you're not comfortable with that, you can directly go ahead and solve using formula method. So the factors I'll be getting is minus 14 and minus 13. So minus 14 minus 13 is also minus 27, wherein if you multiply also you'll be getting 182. So over here x is going to be equal to 14 and x is going to be equal to 13. So you have to find out two numbers is what the question has been asked. If the number is going to be 14, other number is going to be 27 minus 14, right? Similarly, if the first number is going to be 13, so other number is going to be 27 minus 13. It can be either ways. See, if first number is 14, other number is 27 minus 14. Similarly, whatever, it depends on which number you consider as the first number. Clear? Next question. Find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose squares is going to be 365. Usually for 2 marker, you'll be given like two relation, wherein using that you have to find out the whatever they have been asked for. So two consecutive numbers. Two consecutive numbers, as we know, it is going to be x and x plus 1, and the other relation, so one relation has been considered and the other relation is sum of whose squares. So over here sum of whose squares is going to be equal to 365. It is not just sum of the numbers, it is squares, sum of squares. So it is going to be sum of x square plus x plus 2 the whole square. So now this is going to be in the formula of a plus b the whole square. So a square plus b square plus 2ab is what I'll be getting. So when I solve for it, again I'll be getting 182 over here. As here we saw, even it was 182. But if you can see here, both the numbers we considered minus and minus. That is when we got minus 27. But here I just want plus 1. So the factors are going to remain the same, that is 14 and 13. It is just the signs which is going to change. Plus 14 minus 13 gets you plus 1. Right. So now the equation is the numbers, the value of x I'll be having. You have to solve the steps also. Directly you're not supposed to write this. So x is going to be equal to either 13 or minus 14. See, you cannot consider minus 14. They have asked you clearly positive integers. So the two numbers are going to be 13 and 13 plus 1. Right. Next question. Altitude of a right angled triangle is 7 cm less than its base. If hypotenuse is 13 cm, find other two sides. First and foremost, they are talking about right angled triangle. Right, they are talking about right angled triangle. Altitude is 7 cm less. What is altitude in this triangle? The height is said to be called as altitude. So they have said that it is 7 cm less than base. So this is going to be my base. So if base, if I consider as x, my altitude is going to be 7 cm less, that is x minus 7, Right. Next, if hypotenuse is 13 centimeter, they have given my hypotenuse side. So find the other two sides. You already have 13. Using this, you have to find out x and x minus 7. So whenever you see this right angle triangle, the first relation, the first link which you can see is something Pythagoras theorem. So now using Pythagoras theorem is only where we can solve this question. So hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Just adding all the values, substituting the values, I'll get an equation of x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. So minus 60 and I have to get minus 7. So when I'm solving for it, the factors I have to consider is going to be 12 and 5. Minus 12 and plus 5, which is going to have. So now when I solve for it, the value of x I'll be getting is going to be x is equal to 13 and x is equal to minus 5. So you have to write what is the base and altitude. Other two sides is what they have asked us. So once I've got x, base is what we had considered. X is equal to 12 centimeter. That is, base is going to be 12 centimeter. Right. Now height also we have to find out. So that is x minus 7, which is going to be 12 minus 7. So 12 minus 7, it is going to be 5. So over here it brings you 5 centimeter. Clear? So this is how you have to solve a certain question. Next question. Diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meters more than the shorter side. If at all, if longer side is going to be 30 meters more than the shorter side, you have to find the sides. So basically it is going to be a rectangle over here again. And there is a diagonal too. Right. So in a rectangular field there is a diagonal which is 60 meter more than the shorter side. So what is shorter side and longer side? It is basically nothing but length and breadth they are talking about. So first and foremost, let's consider the shorter side as x meter. And they have said that the diagonal is going to be, the first diagonal 60 meter more than shorter side. First we consider shorter side to be x. So now my diagonal is going to be 60 meters more than that. Similarly, they have said that longer side is going to be 30 meters more than shorter side. Again, shorter side as x, so it was going to be 30 meters more than that. So you have to find it. So over here, if you can observe, here also we can form a right angle triangle. Right. We know the value of length, we know the value of breadth also. So this diagonal is going to be, whatever this diagonal value I have got, this is going to be my hypotenuse, shorter side is going to be my base, and this is going to be my altitude or height, whatever it is. So now using this information we can use Pythagoras theorem and solve for it. That is, we'll be getting x plus 60 the whole square is equal to longer side the whole square plus shorter side square. Right, when we are solving for this, then the equation, see, suppose over here you have the 60 the whole square, you have to find out the roots also. So you can use, it is not necessary that you have to use formula method only, you can use any method. So over here, when you solve for this equation, the value which you will be getting, the further when you simplify, you will be getting x square minus 60x minus 2700 is equal to 0. So for this I have to solve. Either I can solve using factorization method or using formula method also. So x is equal to, use the formula, apply the formula, minus b plus or minus within the square roots b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. From the values given, my value of a is 1, b is going to be minus 60 and c is going to be minus 2700. Right, when I'm just equating for all of it, see, minus 60 the whole square becomes 3600. Again, minus into minus becomes plus. So 4 times of 2700, 10,800. See, if you just break this, you'll either get two equations, that is 60 plus within the roots and 60 minus within the roots. I will be having two roots, that is, when I'm solving for it, See, 60 plus or minus within the roots 14,400. So 14,400 is a perfect square for 120. See, it is not necessary you have to remind all this, remember all this. See, ignore this 2 zeros for now. So 144 is there. 144 is the perfect square for 12. So, right, so 12 is going to be the perfect square. You have 2 zeros. If you quit 2 zeros, it becomes 1 0. That is how 120 is going to be a perfect square. So now it is either going to be 60 plus 120 or 60 minus 120 by 2. So when I solve for it, I'll get two numbers, one which is negative, which we cannot consider, and the positive number is what we need to consider. Clear? So once you have got the value of x over here, you just have to substitute over here. So whatever values of x you have got, substitute and write shorter side, diagonal side and longer side. Right. Next question. What is the value of k so that they have two equal roots? So what is the value of k? We have to find out the value of k if they have two equal roots. So what does this two equal roots represent? It is again nothing but discriminant is going to be equal to 0. So just like the previous question which we have seen, so the equation, first write the equation. Over there we have just solved using assumption. Just trying the numbers if it is going to satisfy, that is if my LHS is going to if LHS and RHS is going to be equal to 0, that is how I found out my value of k. But here we are just following that discriminant is equal to 0. This method is something much more appropriate. So b square is b square minus 4ac. From this given equation, the value of a is going to be equal to 2, b is k, and c is going to be equal to 3. Right. So now b square minus 4ac, just substituting the values, I'll be getting k square is k square minus 24. So this has to be equated with 0. When I equate it with 0, I will be getting k square is equal to 24. But I don't want the value of k square. I just want the value of k. K square I don't want. It's just that I want the value of k. So k is going to be plus or minus within the square root 24. For 24, when you just do this prime factorization, so this is how you will be getting, right? So when we have to write it in the simplest manner, a minimum two numbers has to be paired. So over here only two twos is what I can pair at one shot. So this two 2's becomes 1 2 right now. So now again I have 2 into 3. It is two different numbers. So 2 into 3 is going to be 6. So this has to be written inside the root. So that is how I get 2 root 6. Right. So you have two numbers plus or minus. So always considering a positive number. So the value of k is going to be equal to plus 2 root 6. Clear? Next question. Find k for which you have to find the value of k over here. They have just given you a certain option. One, either you can just take the values, that is you can consider the numbers, or you can just solve for it and then go ahead and choose which is the correct option. That is either go for trial and error method or solve for it and then find out. So find out the value of x. You can again use any factorization method or formula method also. So x square minus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0. Value of a is going to be equal to 1. So if I am using formula method is when I need, but I'll use factorization method. X square minus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0. Right. So now first multiply this a and c. So when I multiply a and c, I'll be getting 15. I have to split this in such a manner, I have to get minus 8. I have to split this in such a manner, I have to get minus 8. So now I'll see the options whatever is being given. So 3 plus 2 or 3 minus 2, even if you do that, it is not at all near to 8. 3 plus 2 is going to be 5. If you deduct, you'll get 1. So this cannot be my option. So 5 plus 2, it is going to be 7. So again, it is not an option at all. So 5 plus 3 is going to be 8. So first let's check this. So 5 and 3 are going to be my factors. Right. So 5 and 3 I have to put the sign also. So now it is going to be minus and minus on both the sides. Minus 5 minus 3 is going to be minus 8. When you multiply this, you will be getting positive 15. So when I solve for this, x square minus 5x minus 3x plus 15 is equal to 0. Taking x as common, x minus 5 minus 3 as common, x minus 5. So the roots I'll be getting is x minus 5 and x minus 3. When you equate this with 0, you'll be getting x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 3. Right. So this is going to be my perfect option. So suppose if options has been given, you can just eliminate which are not going to be my, see, even 2 plus 3 is going to be equal to 5, which is not going to satisfy for me. So it obviously has to be 5 and 3 only. From the options given, it is going to be 5 and 3. Clear? Next question. If one root of the equation is being given as 1, you have to find out what is the value of a. So now first and foremost, they have given one root is going to be 1. So other root, that is, they have clearly said that you have to find out a. If I have to find out a, the value which they have given 1 is going to be my value of x. So wherever I have x, I am just going to substitute it with 1. So when I am doing that, only a remains. That is when I will be getting value of a as minus 5.